Imagine receiving your country's highest civilian award only for the certificate to misspell the name of the country that gave it to you. That is exactly what happened during Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's recent visit to the Seychelles. A brand new award called the Guardian of the Blue Horizon was created just days before his arrival. But when images of the certificate surfaced online, observers noticed glaring mistakes. Republic became Republic, Seychelles became Seychelles. What should have been a diplomatic triumph quickly became an international embarrassment. Yet this incident is bigger than a few spelling errors. It has reignited a growing debate over a question many analysts have quietly asked for years. Why do so many countries create new awards specifically for Narendra Modi? Are these genuine recognitions of India's rising global influence, or carefully staged diplomatic gestures designed to flatter one leader? And more importantly, do these awards actually benefit India or only Modi's political image? Over the past 12 years, Narendra Modi has accumulated more than 30 international honors during overseas visits. Some are long-established national decorations that previous world leaders have also received. Others, however, were created specifically for him or awarded for the very first time. During his latest diplomatic tour, Indonesia presented Modi with the Bintang Adipurna, one of its highest civilian honors. Just weeks earlier, Slovakia awarded him the Order of the White Double Cross, First Class, a legitimate state decoration previously given to other foreign leaders. But the Seychelles Award attracted global attention for a different reason. The country's cabinet reportedly approved the Guardian of the Blue Horizon distinction only days before Modi landed in Victoria. Soon after the ceremony, photographs of the certificate spread across social media. Instead of celebrating India's diplomatic success, the internet focused on the spelling mistakes. The Seychelles Foreign Ministry later clarified that the circulated certificate was only a working draft and insisted the award itself was genuine. Still, the controversy raised uncomfortable questions about how these honors are prepared and why they increasingly appear during Modi's foreign visits. The debate extends far beyond one certificate. The first thing to understand is that international honors often function as diplomatic tools. Governments regularly award foreign leaders to strengthen bilateral ties, signal goodwill, or encourage deeper political and economic cooperation. This practice is not unique to India. Countries often reserve their highest civilian honors for visiting presidents, prime ministers, monarchs, or strategic partners. Such ceremonies create positive headlines and reinforce friendly relations. India's growing economic weight makes these diplomatic gestures increasingly valuable. It has become one of the world's fastest-growing major economies, an increasingly important defense partner, and a critical player in Indo-Pacific security. Small and medium-sized countries especially have strong incentives to strengthen relations with New Delhi through symbolic gestures that cost relatively little but generate goodwill. However, critics argue that the recent pattern surrounding Modi goes beyond normal diplomatic protocol. Some honors have been created specifically during his visits. Others have never been awarded again after his departure. That raises a second and more politically sensitive question. Domestically, Modi and his supporters frequently present these honors as recognition not simply of his leadership, but of India's growing global stature. During award ceremonies, Modi often emphasizes that the recognition belongs to 1.4 billion Indians rather than to him personally. Supporters argue that these awards demonstrate India's rising international influence under his leadership. Critics disagree. Political analysts such as Professor Natasha Kaul argue that many of these honors function primarily as image-building exercises, reinforcing Modi's carefully cultivated reputation as a globally admired statesman. The Seychelles controversy strengthened that criticism. Because the award was reportedly approved only shortly before Modi's arrival, opponents questioned whether the ceremony reflected genuine national recognition or diplomatic improvisation designed to please an influential visitor. Indian opposition politicians seized on the spelling mistakes as evidence of a rushed process. Congress spokesperson Supriya Srinathai mocked the incident, arguing that governments were creating awards simply because they knew Modi valued them. Whether that criticism is fair or politically motivated, the controversy shifted attention away from the diplomatic objectives of the visit itself. And that leads directly to the bigger strategic issue. Diplomacy ultimately succeeds through agreements, investments, security cooperation, and trade, not trophies. India's foreign policy has achieved several significant milestones during Modi's tenure. The country has expanded strategic partnerships with the United States, France, Japan, Australia, the Gulf states, and Southeast Asia. It has increased defense exports, strengthened its Indo-Pacific role through the Quad, and positioned itself as a leading voice of the Global South. Those achievements stand on measurable outcomes. Awards, however, remain symbolic. Professor Ian Hall of Griffith University argues that while New Delhi may present these honors as evidence of international respect, their practical diplomatic or economic benefits remain difficult to identify. A ceremony may generate headlines for one day, but it does not automatically produce investment, trade agreements, or stronger security partnerships. The Seychelles episode illustrates that risk perfectly. Instead of discussing climate cooperation or India's strategic role in the Indian Ocean, much of the international conversation focused on typographical errors. In modern diplomacy, perception matters. Symbolic victories lose value if they invite ridicule instead of admiration. For India, the episode highlights both the opportunities and challenges of its expanding global influence. As India's economy and geopolitical importance continue to grow, more countries will seek closer ties with New Delhi. Diplomatic honors will likely remain part of that process. For smaller countries like the Seychelles, symbolic recognition offers a low-cost way to strengthen relations with a major emerging power. For Modi personally, these awards reinforce his image among supporters as a leader respected around the world. But the controversy also demonstrates the limits of political symbolism. International prestige ultimately depends less on medals and ceremonies than on sustained diplomatic achievements, economic performance, technological innovation, and strategic leadership. For global observers, the incident also reflects a broader trend in modern politics, where image management increasingly competes with policy substance. Leaders today understand that photographs, ceremonies, and viral moments often shape public opinion as much as official agreements. The challenge lies in ensuring that symbolism supports genuine diplomacy rather than replacing it. Awards can polish a leader's image for a moment, but history remembers the agreements they signed, the crises they solved, and the nations they transformed, not the trophies they carried home.